Hello, everybody. This is White Wolf, and we're going to be talking about being your most embrace energy, having true self acceptance, and knowing that you're here on the spiritual journey to live a life of fulfillment, to live a life of teaching, to live a life of discernment, and to also live a life finding out who you really are and finding out what you're really capable of and how you can build courageousness within yourself and fearlessness within yourself and build a strong foundation within yourself and to know yourself fully and to know yourself past your own transcendence, and to know yourself and to have true acceptance past the mind and the body so that you know that you're spirit. By embracing yourself, you're embracing love and abundance and truth and wisdom and balance. So when you're becoming your most embraced self, you learn about gratitude. You learn about how to not give into your distortions, to give your power away to people, places, and things that do not matter, and to also get past certain patterns within your life to where they keep coming in and out, and you allow yourself to not step within the revolving door, and you allow yourself to ignore it because you know that it's not of a higher resonance. It's not of a higher vibratory nature. So why would I dwell within a pattern? Why would I get lost in an illusion or the reminiscence of a moment when I can be the actualization of every single moment? If I can be the essence of every moment, if I know that I am the experience of consciousness of everything that is happening simultaneously, that means you have the ability to embrace yourself and to really invite the really good stuff within your life. I'm not going to let anybody join my lives, okay? I'm not letting anyone join my lives. So it's realizing how to place your energy. It's learning how to place everything within increments, but also finding your archetypes, finding your combinations, and also finding the way of discernment and authority and passion by embracing who you are and having that non-dual awareness to know that you're independent, to know that you're free, and to know that you're the willpower of God's source energy because you're choosing to love yourself, to lose yourself in every moment, and to be the essence of every moment, and to show up to your life as if you're meant to be there. You're supposed to be here in the now. You're supposed to be here in the present. So if you're here in the present, in the now, in the forever, in the eternal, that means you're here to experience your own transcendent heaven. So by embracing yourself, you're not putting yourself in a box or a category or placing yourself within a concept or an allegory. You're allowing yourself to go past what is beyond the physical. You are the non-physical essence and the vibration of your higher self. So when we allow ourselves to really embrace God, what we're doing is that we're channeling that embodiment of the higher self, and then we are looking through the eyes of God, but we're also looking at another person and seeing them as God. So we're embracing everything as God, and we're not trying to be the I am presence, or we're not trying to be psychic or trying to be successful. We're trying to be the state of being itself. When you allow yourself to just do it and you don't think about it and you go in with intention, with confidence, with empowerment, you will succeed at everything in your life because you're not placing a limiting belief in it. You're not placing an obstacle in front of it. You're not putting something above you. You're putting something not on a pedestal, but what you're doing is that you're putting your faith, your security, and your leadership and your power on the forefront and leaving it all there. Because true power is something that you do. It's not something that you try to do. It's something that you become. So it's in the becoming when we embrace ourselves. It's in the becoming when we allow ourselves to heal. It's in the reception when we choose to elevate the energy. Because the more that we receive, the more that we embrace and the more that we accept, and then the more we absolutely transcend within our lives. So when you get tongue-tied, when you get into certain circumstances that keep arising, or certain situations, or certain people or relationships dynamics, the one thing that we can do is try not to pursue them, try to ignore them, and if we really have to look at them, but don't hold on to them and have an attachment to that negative force of energy, because we're allowing ourselves to not be attached to that. Because if we're embracing the true resonance of God's source energy, the positivity in our life, a healthy mind, body, spirit complex, we can't do that. So we have to alleviate everything from our past and our past lifetimes, but also allowing ourselves to change our personality so that our reality fits within our multiplicity. So we're finding different combinations. We're not allowing ourselves to assume a position. We're not using our own ego as a way to be a victim, as a way to be a subject to object relationship. We're not allowing ourselves to be placed in a box or a category or a concept, like I just said. Because once we get past this, once we embrace this, once we allow ourselves to dissolve feeling unsafe or fear or lacking of something or feeling like we possess others, this is when we truly embrace enlightenment at a whole. Because if we embrace gratitude, abundance, love, joy, peace, bliss, and also manifestation, and allowing ourselves to be the fertility that we're seeking, because at the end of the day, we're not seeking to get enlightenment over here and place it within our causal chakra. We're trying to seek internally, because the enlightenment is already inside of us. We're not going outside of ourselves and grabbing the enlightenment there and placing it inside of ourselves. That would be foolish, or like grounding and then forgetting your higher state of consciousness. So that's what we get confused with grounding. We're not grounding to forget, we're grounding to remember. We're grounding within the roots so that we can be more tapped into our feminine. And then we allow ourselves to tap into the feminine, and then we allow ourselves to use that Kundalini energy, which allows us to receive from the river of source, which is the masculine energy of empowerment, authority, truth, embodiment, fluctuation, and follow through. So when we embrace ourselves, we are just being our most authentic selves. And you're not trying to be something. You're not desperate about it. You're not lacking of it. You're not finding a reason not to do it. You're not finding a reason to not pursue it. And there will be this change in this wave of energy that changes you, that molds you, that allows you to generate different particle accelerators. So I hope the internet connection is good. This was my opening for this live feed. So if you have not watched me before, this is White Wolf. I do psychic readings, healings, activation codes, downloads. You can book private sessions with me. I have links in the bottom there. And also you can find me on YouTube, White Wolf the Oracle, Instagram, whitewolf4741, and BitChute, whitewolf_23_@. And also we're going to be doing a meditation tonight. So if you want to take part in this meditation, you can take part in this message. So everything I do is an impromptu. I just get on and I channel the message from my higher self and from my guides, and taking the pulse on the energy. So I hope the internet connection is good. Let me know if the internet connection is good. But by embracing ourselves fully is really embracing every quality of the inner child, the divine feminine, the masculine, the Kundalini energy, and then we allow ourselves to birth a new state of being at all times, which is allowing ourselves to fluctuate a density of consciousness. So a lot of us are at 4th, 5th, 6th density already. So the energy that and to keep elevating and to have follow through and action. So on the premise of feeling like you're stuck, you're always continuing up the ladder. You're always continuing up the elevator in a sense. You have always been on the rocket ship. So that's what we're doing as we're becoming more enlightened and becoming more attuned to our psychic abilities, and also prophetic visions and messages and ways to relay the truth. So it gives us different tools. It allows us to know the words. It allows us to know the frequency. It allows us to peer into the awareness that is present. So it allows you to generate different word pictures, but then those word pictures turn into vivid paintings, and then those vivid paintings turn into different ways that while you're in that meditative state, you're reciprocating God. You're reciprocating that higher self back to you. And it's like as if you had a projector screen and you're able to put whatever you wanted on that projector screen. I've used this analogy a lot, kind of like Minority Report, where Tom Cruise had the computer and he had it on the screen, and then he was able to flip from there and there and there. So we have to feel as if we're creating our reality in that way, that it's there. It might not be right here, but it's there, and you can place it there, and it's already been there, and it's already happened in the absence of time, because time and space is an illusion. So if we are a projector, then we have to place everything within our projector screen, the inner vortex within ourselves. So that's why people feel like a lot of the times it's about our outer reality, it's about what's outside of ourselves, it's about what's out here and there. But it's about what we're channeling within ourselves. It's about the energy within. Like a long time ago, I stopped doing energy work with crystals because I had someone show me Stupa Mudra energy. It's really just moving your hands around and doing this simple modality and holding your fingers like that. It's a simple modality, but it's more powerful to channel the energy from within than it is just using a crystal. Now, if you feel that's what you need to do, you have to use that discernment. But I always felt like it was more powerful just channeling from within, channeling from here, channeling that frequency from your own inner being, because it's coming from the source of all things. It's coming from your channel. It's coming from your energy. And that's why it's beautiful, and it's more powerful because you don't have to move or do anything with your hands to emit that frequency. So we always feel like human beings are always built to go, do, and nonstop and never have any rest. But meditation allows you to relax, allows you to push the reset button. It gives you a redo, it gives you redemption, but it also allows you to reassess and reaccess whatever knowledge that you have forgotten. So that's what meditation does, and that's what prophetic visions does, and all that jazz. So I hope the internet connection is good. I never know with these live feeds on TikTok. I never know if the internet connection is good. They're kind of spotty sometimes. So if you haven't been on the feed, you can book a private session with me. This is White Wolf. So we're going to be doing a meditation soon. I'm going to check to see if any of my guides want me to say anything else. I think at the end of the day, when we're choosing not to embrace the journey, or choosing not to embrace another stage, and just look at it. If we're afraid to look at it, we just need to look at it. If we need to take a cord out of ourselves, like I did last night, then we just need to take that cord out, throw it out, and it's not helping us anymore. Or maybe we need to quit that job or get out of that relationship. Or maybe it's like I need to conduct a different routine. I need to stop drinking caffeine if that's what you need to do. I'm not going to stop drinking caffeine because I'm drinking caffeine right now. That's not something that the divine wants me to do. But it's like, okay, well, what works for you? You know, some people think that, I don't think eating plants is the gateway to enlightenment, but if you feel like that is a gateway for you, then do it. So, but it's all about finding out what works with you and what fits within your parameters that you're supposed to follow, because God's synergy, I do believe. I say God a lot to trigger people sometimes, but I say God source energy because I look at God as energy. So I see God as frequency, as energy. And God does not look down upon us if we follow a certain routine differently than others, because then we wouldn't be an individual. Then we want to be unique. So we have to be unique, and we all have different paths, and we all have different ways and different resonances and different truths to kind of seek things out. and put things out into the open and channel that embodiment of source. So everybody has a path and everybody has something to offer here. It just you have to find out what you're not embracing within yourself that's not allowing you to offer more out of yourself and also out of others, but also to others. And I think that's what's important, and that's what's real at the end of the day. Like tonight, I might, later on, I might do readings for people for free and donation-based, because that's what Spirit wants me to do. So I always do what Spirit tells me to do. If they want me to wash my feet, I'll wash my feet. Or if they want me to cut a tree down because it's in the way of something, that's what I do, because I have an obedience to the divine. I have an obedience to the divine essence of source creation. And I think when you're obedient and you're trusting and you have faith and you have that interconnectedness, sometimes Spirit will tell you something and you might not be comfortable with doing it. But do you think they're going to be mad if you don't do it? But sometimes it's kind of leaves you an option. You always have options, and you always have opportunity, and you always have other things to explore and to reconfigure and things of that nature. So I think it's just like using your discernment and seeing what you need to do, what you need to act upon, and also just what you need to tweak out and kind of migrate back into. And I think at the end of the day, that's the key to doing that. And that's what makes you stay in your own lane, but also you will find different ways, different tools, different ways to emit the frequency, to make soul families, to remember your spiritual origin, and also remember why you incarnated here. So we all chose this crazy shit. We all chose this crazy fucking mess that is humanity. But it can be a beautiful fucking mess if we let it be. Some people don't like that in the spiritual community when you say something with fire, with passion. But I think that's just something that is of an old nature. But it's time for the new generation. It's time for the new prophets. It's time for the new way and the new wave of energy. So when you say stuff authentically and when you speak the truth, when you speak your mind, sometimes people will not like it, but at the end of the day, it will always lead you to where you want to be. So step on some toes, break some rules, and embrace yourself fully. So we're going to do a meditation. So if you're coming into this live feed really late, I'm White Wolf. Thank you for coming onto the live feed. Also, thank you for the lovely message, my higher self, and also just embracing our true self, embracing our divinity, embracing who we are. Book some private sessions with me for psychic readings, healings, activations, and also go to my other YouTube channel, White Wolf the Oracle, Instagram, whitewolf4741, and BitChute, White Wolf the Oracle 23_@symbol. So we're going to do a meditation. So with this meditation, I want you to allow yourself to embrace yourself fully, to be able to be that breath of fresh air, and to also be that power that is within yourself. So you can focus on an object, you can lay down, you can sit down, you can dance if you want to. You can do whatever you want while you are meditating to this meditation that you are experiencing, because you're aligning yourself to the direct experience of consciousness. So take a nice big deep breath. Exhale. And I want you to embrace yourself fully. I want you to have true acceptance beyond your own personal biases. I want you to see how powerful you will feel when you have gratitude, when you have faith, when you have honor, when you have dignity, and knowing that your integrity cannot be stripped away from you, or your innocence, in a sense. Nothing can be taken away from you as the growing nature of consciousness. Allow yourself to flow to your energy, to control your energy, but also to use it for the higher good. So let's send loving light to the universe. Let's get plugged back in to the motherboard of the interconnectedness support system. Know that you can find support whenever you need it. You will find guidance whenever you ask. You will have faith when you believe in it. And knowing that you will always receive, because it's designed in that way for all of us to receive so that we can move on. So that we can keep going, so that we can keep moving. Nothing can impede the anointing, the grace. Even with the trials, the tribulations, the challenges, the hurdles, the things that are negative, we can balance them out and make them positive. Yes, this is this way, but I can improve it. But I can do something better. But I can tweak it out. I can subtract something, add something. I can generate another cause, another effect. I can change the experience before I experience it. And you allow yourself to embrace change, to not be afraid of the shift, to not be afraid to look at the things that don't make you divine, to cut the cords that are binding you, to reprogram your thinking, to reprogram your life, to allow it to have a different course, different set of experiences, different ways of manifesting, but also different ways to find what you're looking for, to find out that your seeking doesn't have to be toxic. Your seeking doesn't have to be toxic. It doesn't have to be painful. It doesn't have to have suffering. It doesn't have to have a rigidness. But it can be smooth if you want it to be. I'm not saying that you won't have challenges. You won't have times, but if you mature faster, if you accelerate faster, then it will be a lot easier on you. But either way, it'll get you where you need to be. It just might take a little bit longer. But you don't have to be in a rush either. That's what the beautiful thing is, that you can develop this thing called patience with yourself, with your thoughts, with your emotions, with different stages of your life, different stages of your consciousness, because you don't have to get there. Rome wasn't built in a day. So when you use that pyramid analogy, you allow yourself to keep ascending up the ladder, up the elevator, up the rocket ship. No matter what analogy you use, it says the same thing, because at the end of the day, you're just continuing to go up the upper echelons. Kind of spinning around in my chair a little bit, like back and forth, like I'm a kid. But it's like embracing that inner child, that masculine, that feminine, that kundalini energy. It's very powerful because it turns into a Black Panther energy, and that's the equivalent to ayahuasca ceremony. So when you embrace yourself, you walk with dignity. You walk with truth, you walk with honor, but it's not a smug way, or you're too prideful, or you're too confident, because that's being desperate and that's just being overly edgy for no reason. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with being edgy, but being edgy in a way to where it makes sense, not just out of desperation, out of kind of ridiculousness, you know. But there's some structure, there's some ways that you can validate it. There's a good intention behind it. And you just try to tap into your power. You just try to tap into your heart. And you just go with it. You don't try to go with it. You just go with it. You just go with the flow. You just be who you are authentically. And if nobody ever tells you that, that's the greatest thing that anyone can tell you. Trying not to do something instead of doing it is more powerful. I think that's a lesson that we're all learning, myself included. Because at the end of the day, I am just like you. I'm nobody special. I'm just a consciousness in a hoodie and a hat describing consciousness. I'm just a consciousness that encompasses this vessel. But I am not that at the core. There's something deeper and more cryptic and more profound and mysterious. But embrace yourself today, accept yourself today, love yourself today, lose yourself in the moment. Be the essence of every moment. And become the oracle of love, light, and wisdom today. Express that gratitude, that love, that trust, that faith, that stability, and it will never fail you if you just go with it. Embrace it, and then lock it in and forever be changed within yourself. Everyone take one last deep breath. Exhale. So I hope you all enjoyed that meditation. I hope the internet connection was good. I never know if the internet connection is good at all. But embrace yourself. Embrace everything about yourself. Embrace the things that you don't want to embrace. And love it. And love it to the point where you forgive it. And then forgive it to the point where you empower it. And you elevate it. And you allow it to be reciprocated and loved. And there's care and there's unconditional love towards that. And it's accepting everything as an extension of God's source energy. So thank you guys so much. You can book private sessions with me. This is White Wolf. I hope you enjoyed the meditation. I hope you enjoyed the message. Also, feel free to share out. Feel free to also book private session, psychic readings, healings, activations. Also, it's $70 for 1 hour. White Wolf the Oracle, YouTube, Instagram, whitewolf4741, BitChute, White Wolf the Oracle 23_@symbol. And until next time, God bless and namaste. If I know how to shut this off.